Hi, I'm Emma Beldrew and I've just got back from this morning's Community Business Chats, which is a local network of creatives, freelancers, business owners, and we get together once a month and it's run by a lovely lady called Ali. This morning we were discussing everything about community, and I was lucky enough to be invited along to speak on the panel about community in general and also community on YouTube. So I thought it would be a good idea for me to do a quick little video to discuss how community on YouTube is so important. One of the reasons why we have a community is because it's a great place to come together, to bring together like-minded people. It's a great place to speak and share your experiences or speak and also learn from others. So ultimately it's a great place to create and grow together, and I think a well nurtured community is a community that lasts. If you want to grow your community on YouTube, then some tips I would give you is to consider thinking about how you engage with your community. How active are you? It's really about listening and understanding their needs and then asking them to contribute in some way. There's lots of ways on YouTube that you can encourage your community to participate. And the more you do this, the more engaged they are, the longer and stronger your community will be. So one of the ways you can do that is by asking your community, your audience, to comment in the comments section below. You can ask them specific questions about what their needs are, what their problems are, and then you can come to some kind of idea as to how you might be able to help them. And it's really about listening and hearing what they have to say and what their needs are. And then you can create content around that, which again makes your community stronger, and they see the value that you're giving, and they will also see that you've listened hard to what they've said. And obviously you will continue doing your own thing, but it's really about allowing them to contribute ideas and kind of shape your channel. So that's a really good point. Another way is to use other formats such as podcasts or your email lists. That way you're touching base using a different media or a different platform, and that way they can see what you're offering, and it might be using a different format but you're still giving them the same value or giving them added value. Another tip for building up your community on YouTube: your community will subscribe to your channel. And the other thing is, once they're part of your community, they want to participate, they want to comment, and they also want to enjoy the community, because you're bringing together lots of like-minded people and they might share the same values and have differing opinions but within the same niche. So the reason why a lot of people want to subscribe to your channel is because they like that need for connection. They want to be able to come back, and they do value what you've got to offer. And being active and being consistent are two ways in which you can guarantee your community will grow organically and keep coming back. So on YouTube you can learn to nurture your community, and you can do that in many ways. You can use your community posts. You can ask people to sign up to certain email lists, and you can keep links in the description area. You can even ask them to give you feedback in the comments as to what they might want to see on your channel or what issues they might be having that you might be able to help them with. So again, they feel they can participate, and you can even ask them if they've got ideas for content that they'd really like to see. By doing this, it helps you really fully understand your community and your audience, and that really does deepen the relationship you have with them, and they would appreciate that, and they do appreciate that by subscribing or by coming back and viewing your videos. They'll even be commenting to each other, to other people within the community, within the audience. In the comments you can see quite a lively discussion sometimes, and people helping each other out and sharing their stories, which is again a great place to be. One thing that you can do to facilitate it so that it feels like a safe trustworthy place and a respectful place is to have some boundaries around what's acceptable or not. And one feature on YouTube that they do have is a way to block certain words, and you can do that in the settings. That is a nice feature to have, because if you don't want to have people swearing or saying things that you don't agree with or mentioning certain brands or whatever it is, you can actually block that word or series of words. So that's a great plus. One thing to remember is, even though you might be growing a fantastic community or audience on YouTube, you never know what happens, and it's the tech company. So because YouTube in this case owns your community, they own details of all your subscribers, you won't be able to have access to them if anything happens. So if you've built up a community that you love to give value to and create content for, you should possibly give them a place where they can sign up to an email list, to something that you own, and that way you can future-proof yourself in case anything happens, or at least that way you still have access to your community, and I'm sure your community would appreciate that too, so it's worth thinking about. Another way you can keep your community engaged and interested in your content is by mentioning them in your YouTube videos, or you could create polls, which you can do in your community posts. You can create quizzes or prize draws, and that way you're really creating a place where they can participate and have a two-way relationship with you, which I think is, one, very engaging, and two, in the long run will be a great benefit in sustaining your community. A strong community thrives on consistent value and authentic engagement. So it's really worth considering what you can do to engage so keep showing up, whether that's live or recorded video or behind the scenes. Always think about encouraging peer-to-peer members to interact, and you can include things like ask questions in your videos and ask them to have a discussion even in the comments about a question that you might have that's key. So for example, I might say, what does community mean to you? Let me know in the comments below, and that's a real question that I want to ask you and I'm interested in hearing, and perhaps people watching this video will be able to say and tell me what community means to them. So let's give that. Community is really at the heart of your YouTube channel, and it's quite important to see how you can get them to participate and interact in your YouTube journey, and this will be a great way in which your channel can grow organically. So as a YouTube creator, you can celebrate their wins, you can show that you're supportive if you've heard what they need and have curated your channel, or create videos that particularly answer a certain question. So those things are of great value, and your audience and your community will be coming back for more, because that will build your trust. Creating that support, knowing that you're listening, will really help them understand that you're a person that they can go to and they trust, and they will get answers from, they will get support, and if they don't get it from you, they will get it from the community that are talking in the comments section or in the community posts. So in conclusion, your community is really a space where people feel that they can grow and they can connect and build deeper relationships. So a community is incredibly valuable. Your community is really the heart of your channel. Without a community, without your audience, you don't really have, or you won't see growth on your channel. So one of the ways in which you can grow your channel is to nurture your community as best you can, use different formats, bring them onto your channel or onto the YouTube platform, and get them talking there and encouraging the peer-to-peer members to discuss certain points, ensure that people feel heard and celebrate their wins, and keep that conversation going. Ultimately, it's all about creating a space that people feel heard and can grow together. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you do have any comments about community and what it means to you, then don't forget, pop it in the comments below, so I'd love to hear about it. And hopefully in the coming weeks I'll create another video about the way you can nurture your community and how they can engage a bit more. So we'll go through a few of those in another video. In the meantime, I hope you really enjoyed this session, and I hope you get something of value out of it. Okay, just want to say thanks to Ali for letting me be part of the panel and the discussion today on community. I really enjoyed being there. It was an amazing response, and it was amazing how enthusiastic everybody was about community itself and how it can help them grow and learn more about their own experience. Thanks again, Ali. It was lovely to be there. Okay, so what am I using to make this video? I've just got my Canon DSLR, which is a 250D. I have a tripod, some daylight, and I've also got my ring light on today. I don't have my mic on. I was in the moment. I really wanted to talk about my morning and the inspiration I got from the morning's discussion about community, so I wanted to jump on a video and quickly put this together while I was still in that frame of mind. So now I'm going to segue into the full discussion and the session that we had this morning, and you have to forgive the lighting. It wasn't great because we had windows behind us. The venue had their own mics, so I was able to use that. There was no need for me to use lapel mics. So I hope you enjoy and take away some value from this discussion. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time.